Can you come up and say it went live?
Yeah. You want to go look? Make sure I did it right?
There it is.
There it goes.
All right. What's going on, everybody?
There's a notification.
Can everybody hear us?
Yeah, let us know if you can hear us. It's kind of a new setup and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you can hear both of us?
Well,
all right.
I'm going to set this right here. Hopefully.
All righty. Well, I want to thank everybody that's coming, and thanks for showing up. And first time doing this, so we just figured neither one of us been putting out a whole lot of videos, so we just figured we'd make a live and just let y'all ask some questions and, you know, kind of chit chat back and forth with y'all. And of course, I know everybody wants to know about the Chevrolet, what's going on the Chevrolet. So maybe Robbie CFamer will get in there and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I figured if I was going to drive all the way over here to hang out with him on Saturday evening, we might as well all hang out together, right?
Right. Yeah, we just got through eating. We ate grilled some steaks and had some steaks, some corn, some macaroni and bread and baked potato and salad. We're stuffed.
Heck yeah.
Well, if Brian Anderson said, well, if it ain't the finest fellers this side of the Mississippi.
I hear you, buddy. Timothy Glover said, hanging out working on race car. I want to drive it. Can I drive it?
Hey, I'd like to drive a race car.
Absolutely.
That'd be a good video.
I got to make it out there to see Timothy sometime. We have been trying to meet up for ain't no telling how long, and it seemed like something always comes up. We could be in the same parking
Can't hear
lot.
you.
Your audio's low.
Put your, you have to pin it to your shirt.
I apologize for any scratching or anything like that right there, but yeah.
If you put it on the inside, you won't have to
Maybe it'd be a little better.
bother you.
Right. Well, it ain't bothering me as long as it ain't scratchy on the
Looking for some sponsors. I just want to drive it. I ain't talking about sponsoring. I mean, you can put my name. Yeah. Wait a minute now. We can put our logos on this car, right?
Oh, you just gotta figure out what we can afford to buy him to go in the car with it.
Well, yeah. It's like, you know, whatever we can afford, right?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Hey,
So.
Stephen Gill. Hey, Duramax fanatic. Have I had time to work on the Duramax yet? Man, I haven't yet. Just life has been getting in the way. I hate to say it, but it's kind of went on the back burner since I started driving that Freightliner. I do have plans. They're just not. I haven't messed with it yet. I've moved it one time. I've been trying to make a video showing the repairs and you know, just a little update on what I've done to it from 300 to 500,000 miles because it was still running fine at 500,000. And I did rebuild the rear end and some different things. And I've been trying to make that video, but I think the next time will be my 6th attempt to make that video. And something has happened. Either my battery went dead and I didn't know it, or the audio was bad and I didn't know it, or something every single time. But I'm going to try and get that out soon.
He's slacking, y'all.
I have been. And I'm going to keep putting my glasses off and on because I can't see anything.
Right.
I can see the camera fine, but I can't see.
That's going to be the same for me, too. And also, I got another little project I'm going to be working on, too, making some videos on, and asking for some of y'all to help, too, because I bought a 95 Road King, and I bought it. It run good. Brought him back to a buddy's shop of mine, and the oil disappeared. I serviced everything, put new oil in, drove a mile down the road, come back, and the oil disappeared. So I've got a new oil pump, and was going to put it on, find out it wasn't an oil pump. Got in there and turned around, and a breather cam shaft thing. It's made out of plastic that slides in there, and it's got teeth on it. All the teeth were gone. It eat them up. So it all got in the filters and stopped everything up. So all the oil's still on top of the engine. So we're gonna fish and do a lot of work to it, and I'm putting a bigger cam in it, and just trying to hopefully get it going so I can get some videos making of that. And then any of y'all that's got Harley Davidsons and helps to knows more about bikes than me, then I could definitely use the help.
Heck yeah. Here the race car. Tennessee sent some pictures.
Oh yeah, see our logo can go right there on the hood.
I know.
Side the fenders. See Farmer down one side, Mr. Tennessee down the other. How much $5 get us, Timothy?
Oh me. Probably a little spot right in the corner of the headlight. That's pretty cool, man. Now I'll figure out how to get back over to the live here.
Says Gator FTV says, hey guys, great to see you two doing well. Thanks for posting videos. No doubt you have better things to do. We really enjoy watching them.
Appreciate that, but we enjoy making them. It's just life is me or him, neither one really planned on doing what we're doing now, and it just trying to figure things out as we go. Speaking for myself, it's just kicking my butt all over the place. I've been working on a daggum truck for 2 days, and I'm should have been working on my white truck, but instead I chose to tinker with some other junk. And Todd St. John, you in Kingman, running 40. I believe Tony's right ahead of you there.
Yeah, Tony is on 40 coming. Well, he's probably in. He's coming through Arizona, headed back now.
Yeah.
Says, hello, you guys.
Hello.
And Tony says we're blurry.
Are we
Am I blurry or is he blurry?
Tony, clean your glasses. Look, let us know if we're blurry or not. Are we blurry, baby?
Not on mine.
Clean the glasses, Tony. Clean the glasses.
I see people hitting the like button, man. Appreciate it, guys.
Really?
Hitting the heart button over there, like.
I'm hoping.
I can't see none of
Oh,
that.
is it you hitting it over and over and over again? I thought we were doing good there for a minute.
I don't see that on mine.
It was popping coming up right here from a little heart.
Right
It
here,
just,
they just keep flying up.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't see it on this thing.
Duramax think that said I'm hitting over.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate ya.
Let's see.
Tony said the whole thing is boring.
No, hey Wayne, Johannes Meyer.
Yeah, he said y'all not.
Hope you're doing good. Can you help me understand how dump and flatbed compare to how they compare?
When RV rates and fuel were low.
Talking about the rates, or help us understand how dump and flatbed.
Dump truck and flatbed comparing to, well, now.
Because you're a dump truck and you flatbed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, of course I'm not making.
Just in general.
Right. I'm not making definitely the money that I was when I was out there RV transporting, but now the money in RV transport that I'm hearing is falling way off, and I feel bad for all y'all out there that's still out there trying to do it, because I heard that a friend called just yesterday and said that Synergy slashed their rates again. So that I don't see how they're getting away with slashing rates and expecting everybody to be able to support them and make enough money to make a living and to be able to have any kind of money to put back to rebuild the truck when it does go down. Eventually, it does go down, right?
No matter what you're driving, it will eventually go down.
But I do enjoy being home, getting to come home to the sandwich maker. I'm getting fat, so I got to go on a diet starting tomorrow. She's feeding me too much. And, but I think you're doing pretty good, though, ain't you?
They fed me when I got here, and I'm barely moving. I was thinking, man, we should have ate after this because I'm looking for a nap now. They fed me well, but flatbedding, to me, the reason I got out of trucking in the first place, and I had no intentions at that time of getting into RV transport or the other deal that me and him were doing, I went away from driving for a living whenever I sold my other 18 wheeler. And the reason for that was I still like playing with trucks. I just don't like doing it for a living because of all the politics in the companies. There's too many Indians, not enough Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. You know, too many bosses, not enough people. And it don't matter what company you seem to go with, whether you're in a big truck, a little truck, whatever. There's always people sitting there, but they don't communicate in the office. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Definitely.
As far as how it compares up to me, I just have a whole lot more responsibility now for a little bit more money if they keep me busy. They've been keeping me busy so far. They've been running me to death. But they all do. When the first 2 months you lease onto a company, they're going to run you in the ground. You need to get all you can get, because after that they start showing their true colors and you start seeing what's going to come out. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm really hoping that I would get over the part about where I didn't like it so much, where I wasn't just aggravated, but I miss it. You know, Tony, y'all remember seeing him in my videos, and I know you're watching too, but you know, he tells me, I call him up, what you doing, man? He says, I'm coming across 40, coming through Needle. And I'm like, I miss it.
Right. I miss it.
Yeah.
Me and Robbie was just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
It's some of the spots where he'd stop and eat and just do stuff, you know, get the camper off, you can get to go do stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I definitely miss the RV transport.
TG said, are you doing local or over the road?
It's over the road. It's pretty much, I call dispatch, they offer me some loads and tell me what they got, but from what I've seen right now, new truck, new company, new equipment, and all that, I just been staying north and south between Chicago and Birmingham. I mean, it seems like everything's working good there. But if a load comes up going to California, I will probably take it, but it's going to have to pay unreal, because every time in a flatbed that I have went to California for multiple different companies, it eats my lunch on the way back. I go out for good money and I come back for peanuts. And I have to wait here, and it may be 2 or 3 loads back that are really cheap. And by the time I get back, I could have done better staying 500 miles from the house.
Well, Todd St. John said with fuel what it is right now, he's making more money on similar runs from what he was making.
Yeah. And that's the thing, just finding a lane and finding what works for you. Compared to the responsibility that I had when I was pulling campers, it's a lot of responsibility, because if if you hit somebody with that camper, if a wheel comes off the camper or something like that, you're still in a mess. But when you pull in the flatbed, in the big truck, there's so many more blind spots, and there's stuff can literally come flying off the trailer. And then just a lot more responsibility for very little bit more money. And, that's my thoughts. I can definitely see me getting back into RV transport one day. It just wasn't the right move for me right now, because uncertainty in the companies and how everything was going. And then that other truck just fell in my lap, and Buddy worked a deal with me on it. And, all things considered, it was just the best move for me to make, even though it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. I'm tied to it for 4 years now. But,
yeah,
John
I mean.
said, I miss you all being out here with me, and David Cross said ditto.
Oh yeah, well we definitely miss out there running with y'all, meeting y'all.
And T-Joe misses y'all.
I mean, going to the shop, going to the shop, meeting y'all, and just meeting y'all out on the road, having lunches and stuff.
That's what we was talking about the other day. We were talking about, if we'd have been over the road flatbedding or something like that, I would have never went to that Calico Ghost Town. I would have never seen Peggy Sue Diner. I would have never seen Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, yeah.
And just so many other things. First, it gave me the opportunity to see the beach from the West Coast. I'd been to California many times, but never in a pickup where I could just drive over. So, yeah, I miss all that really, really, really bad.
That, and also like the haunted motel that I went and stayed at. Yeah, ranch, yeah. Now that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty spooky. It was.
Now that I've been home for a little while, I'm itching for a road trip. I mean,
hold it back up. Hold your sign back up.
But here's the thing. Even though we're not doing it right now anymore, if any of you guys need anything, that's one reason we try to keep the videos coming out. We don't know everything. I sure don't know everything, but I would do my best to help anybody find the answers. And that's one thing good about the YouTube channel is, it gets all of us together in one place, and we can ask each other questions in the comments and all that stuff, and learn from each other. Because I learned as much from you guys as y'all learned from me. I know a lot of people tell me they learned a lot of stuff from me, but I learned a lot of stuff from you guys too.
Right, it's just passing around the knowledge, and
absolutely,
the more we pass around, the more we'll learn.
Yeah.
And so
He
it's
said, I miss trying to catch you guys running back and forth, but for now, y'all are sleeping good in warm beds.
Yeah. You know something funny?
yeah.
I got that condo sleeper Freightliner. There's enough room in that truck that I can stand on top of my domestic refrigerator and reach all the way to the ceiling. Still can't reach the ceiling. I can't sleep in that truck. I can, and my Duramax, 15,000 engine hours on it. Didn't mind idling that truck all day, every day. I cannot stand that Freightliner idling. I just don't like the sound of that Detroit idling. So it keeps me up.
And yeah, we was talking about that the other day. I mean, I sleep more on the couch by choice. I don't get kicked out of the bed, but
That's what he says. That's what he's telling us anyway.
Yeah, it's, you know, I slept comfortable, especially in, you know, in those trucks. You know, air conditioner on, running, or the heater on, and it was comfortable. And it's, you know, that's why I go to couch, I guess, because it's a smaller, you know.
I'm 6'3", and everybody asks me, how in the world did you get comfortable on the back seat of a pickup truck? I slept like a baby in that pickup, unless I had the air mattress and it went flat.
Right.
And when I first started trying to get used to the memory foam, I didn't sleep worth an air.
Well, Neil Clark said you two helped him out a lot with your videos when he got into RV hauling. Thank you both.
Well, we're glad that it helped. When I started, I was looking at, I was watching High Mileage Helper and Fair Wind Following Seas back when I was still running my Kenworth. I was just trying to figure out the industry because I thought maybe one day it would be something that I might want to try. And then I wound up just kind of getting dumped into it, and that's why I started making the videos, is because, you know, I didn't have anybody to ask or talk to her that I could just call up or whatever, and I wanted to make videos just so if somebody else did want to get into it, and just sharing my experiences. I'm told that I wind up in some pretty peculiar situations, and other people would enjoy to watch it, so that's when I started trying to make videos.
TG said that's because you forgot your winter ice slippers on your shoes, Mr. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the day I realized I needed them things, I fell 3 times. I busted my butt 3 times in the Middlebury yard.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's where I fell, the Middlebury yard.
Yep.
Middlebury yard, it gets a lot of water in it, and then wintertime that stuff freezes over to ice.
Oh yeah, slicks right over.
It was like at one time you hooked a chain to me, and had to pull me in the camper out, because I mean the camper was
Froze in the ground.
Froze in solid ice. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Now, I'll tell you something that I would love to see happen. I don't know if I can ever make it happen because YouTube don't pay that much. But one thing that I would love to see happen is for me to get my white truck back running, and that's going to happen. I'm hoping around October. I've got a buddy that's got a shop over here close to his house, and I'm going to load it up on the gooseneck, bring it over here. That way we can be inside and have all the tools we need, and I'm not worrying about doing it in my front yard. And we're gonna take it apart. And I'm still looking for a whole other truck, for a parts truck, you know, one that's been wrecked. And I found one the other day, but it was all the way out in Texas. It looked like a good price on a good truck, but it wasn't the right one. I'll know the right one when it comes along. And I may not need a whole engine, but eventually my truck got 500,000 miles on. Eventually I'm gonna need a lot of parts, so I would really like to buy a wrecked truck. And hopefully in October we'll get it tore down and find out it's not as bad as I think, and we can get it back going. And after that, I would like to get my gooseneck in really good running order and have them both sitting there at the house. And that way, if somebody does break down, either me or him one could take the truck and go out and pick whoever up and get them home. And like I say, we don't make a lot off YouTube. I don't make a lot off YouTube, but the money after it sits there, because I don't touch it, it just goes into a separate account and it just sits there because it's not enough to really do much with. But eventually it would build up to enough to get somebody home. And I would like to start making videos about that if there was that stuff to do.
Right.
David Cross said he should be back out in 1 to 2 weeks.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great. So your motor, you done got your motor, and they're working on putting it in?
I talked to him the other day. He said it came in.
Good deal.
Yep.
Good deal.
Somebody can barely hear you.
Me?
There's both of them.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
XY10 or Rider 1.
All right, what about now?
Maybe I was talking too low.
Yeah, maybe I was talking too low.
Yeah.
So how are y'all doing? I mean, oh, by the way, we're almost at 4,000 subscribers, and I never dreamed that I would even hit that. Robbie stayed, whenever he started making videos, and he started making them, and he kept on trying to get me into it, and I was like, nah, it just ain't my thing. So one day he finally broke me down to where I started, and I never dreamed to be in close to 4,000. Matter of fact,
Sounds better.
okay. I didn't ever dream to even actually having 50, just to be honest with you. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all for that. I mean, we're growing still, even though I ain't still putting out a lot of videos, but I'm going to try. I thought about making a few more dump truck videos, and then, like I said, I'm gonna make some Harley videos, and I got some product review videos that I've got coming, and especially for all of y'all out there with RV transport, hot shot, 18-wheelers, any of that, or actually just everybody. I got one product that me and Robbie talked about for a long time, and we never did find anything to get anything to do a video on. Well, I got one coming, supposedly, if it shows up, that it actually, I think, be interesting for y'all to check out, because having one is very safe and could save your life.
Alright, TG said, I never asked y'all what you think about haul and tow setup. No 53-foot trailer when they did.
Yeah, I had when I was at Jimbo's, they tried to get me in the haul and tow, and if I was gonna do that, I'd just soon be back in a big truck. I know what I can do, and I know what I'll be doing in a big truck. I mean, I do have another friend. I don't know if he's on here. I haven't seen him, Jose, and he does really good with the haul and tow. Well, he doesn't do haul and tow. He does oh Lord, multi-haul.
Yeah, multi-haul.
He does it with a big truck. He's got a big old Volvo, and he does it with it, and he does really good with it. And he said that he called me as soon as I bought that truck and went to hauling steel. He called and asked me why I didn't come back hauling campers with it. And I told him it was already leased in with a company that I was used to working for. I'd worked with them for 5 years. I worked for that 3 years, and I worked with that dispatcher for over 5 years. So that worked out pretty good. And it's just I'm more comfortable doing that right now than I am trying to learn a new business. And to me, don't get me wrong, it's definitely about the money, but I got to enjoy what I'm doing as much as possible. And I think once you get back in a big truck and you start doing all that stuff, might as well be hauling steel. And somebody asked me the other day, I haven't been able to get to my comments hardly at all. I've been trying to watch them, and if something comes through, I can answer really quick. I'll answer it. But I saw one the other day. Someone asked me why wasn't I on ELD? Why did I prefer paper, or why was I on paper log and not a ELD? Stubbornness and spite. That's why I won't run a ELD. I will cut my own throat to stay off an ELD just because of the way that I feel like they pushed it on us. Personal opinion, nowadays it's just the norm, but back when they first started trying to push it,
Right.
I wound up leaving a job because of it, and I know they lost a lot of other owner-operators and all that, and that's got a lot to do with why I wanted out trucking in the first place. They just push them whatever they want to on us, and we really don't have a choice. Just roll with it or get rolled over.
Or get out of it.
Yeah, and
which a lot of people did whenever they done that, when they pushed it out.
They did, yeah.
A lot of people sold their trucks, retired, just because
Absolutely.
of the same thing you just said. It's stubbornness and aggravating, and they didn't want to learn it.
Yeah, and it wasn't that. For me, like I say, if I'm expected to do more work, I expect to get paid more, and I will never pay for an ELD, and I'll never pay the service for an ELD, and unless it's just exceptionally good paying freight, I won't run one. But that's my personal opinion, and that's just how I feel about it. If they call tomorrow and say, "Hey, Mr. Farmer, we're sorry, but you're gonna have to put an ELD in that truck," I'll get rid of the truck and I'll go find something else to do. Unless they call me and tell me it pays $4.50 a mile. Money talks, and we lost money on that deal. We didn't gain no money on that deal. We got more overreach, less money. That's just my personal opinion.
How's your wrist doing? You want to tell everybody what happened to you?
I was working on an old truck today, and I got eat up by a wasp. My whole arm was swollen up like a baseball bat whenever I left to come over here, and I had it wrapped up in tobacco, It got me 3 times right down that side. Golly. That's the first time I've been hit by a wasp in years, probably since I was a teenager. And it was pretty rough. But it's actually a whole lot better now, just the fingertips tingling.
Yeah, he was working on
That old dually that I got.
Yeah, he's been working on it for last several days trying to get it going.
I was thinking it would be cheaper since that truck was sitting there and all it needed was a couple of batteries and this and that and the other. Just go ahead and get it back running because I need a truck. And it was running before. It just needed batteries and that kind of stuff. Nice. After sitting for 3 years, as soon as I started messing with it, one thing after another started failing, and I put enough money into it, I could have bought the oil pump and other stuff for the white truck. Let's see.
Well, Neil Clark said, I put my RV hauling on hold and bought a Freightliner. Next June, he's going to buy a 53
Shipsy?
No.
Heck yeah. Well, I hope it works out good
Yeah,
for you.
I hope so.
I know quite a few people that do it. They love it.
Right now, RV transport is just, and like I said, unless you got another income coming in, or you don't really need the money, it's just very hard to make a living at it right now. Trying to have money for your house, try to save money up for breakdowns, to keep the maintenance on your truck, to buy everything. They're not leaving enough money left over right now to even justify for wearing out a truck. And I mean,
It's actually,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
from what I've been hearing from people, it's actually doing better than I was real worried it was fixing just dry plumb up for a couple months whenever my truck went down. That's why I didn't put the money back, just go dump the money in and get my truck fixed.
right. Well,
Because it was looking real sketchy there for a little bit.
I think like Indiana Transport, they just got most of the freight, and gather up all the freight, and just started cutting rates.
Yeah, that's what they do. They go out and when they see something like that, and then an opportunity comes along, they just cut the rates on it so they can get it, and then I believe that's what happened.
Right. I mean, that's what I think. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, well, J. Evan 90 said, thank you both for sharing the info you gained.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, like I say, we were trying to share info and help people out, but at the same time, we were just trying to share. I was just trying to share my experiences, and I enjoyed my job. I really enjoyed RV transport, and that's why I say at some point I can definitely see me going back to it. Most likely, not in the white L5P. If I did, I would probably get a different truck. Not because I don't love that truck, and not because it ever didn't do me a great job, but just because it's got so many miles on it right now, I don't know if I trust it or not.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's got over 500,000 miles on it.
Yeah, 3 more years, it'll be $1 million. And I beat that truck to death. There's so much stuff y'all don't get to see off camera. That truck took a freaking beating. It had been buried. It's been beat.
It was beat from day one he bought it. He's got a big foot, and he hammers down on it all the time.
Oh yeah, it didn't matter. The biggest fifth wheel they could put behind it. Whenever I get on ramps, as soon as I'd have the crew set on 70, I'd get off a ramp and do whatever I got to do. Didn't cut the truck off. When I was getting back on, I hit the resume button, just let it do its own thing.
In the median.
Yeah, I buried it plumb up over the running boards. Fire department had to pull it out of the median.
Yeah.
I buried it up on the beach out in North Carolina. I buried it 2 or 3 times over on the farm. I got it stuck in the woods where a daggum tractor almost couldn't get to get it out.
Well, I'm gonna grab me another sun drop. I'll let you keep talking. You need another sun drop?
I'm good right now, and that is sun drop. It ain't no. I can open it up and show you if we need to, but
You might want to. It's the camera.
yeah, no, it ain't.
ZX10 Runner 1 said, hey, CFamer, I'm no longer with Jimbo. Had to get back to a regular 9 to 5.
Man, I tell you, I believe a lot of us had to change, look for a change. And I liked Jimbo when I was there. They were really good people. It's just the fuel discount was so much better with Indiana Transport, and the rates were so much better at that time with Indiana Transport. But I really thoroughly missed pulling the horse trailers and the cargo trailers and all the different things they had to pull, man. I really enjoyed pulling some of that other stuff. But but at the same time, I just couldn't not go to Indiana Transport. I mean, the rates was better, and fuel discount was better. They had that big shop over there at the time they'd let us work in and all that stuff. It just worked out a whole lot better. But
Brian Anderson said, CFamer, I figured out today what was that shutter was in my truck. Changed the fuel filter and O-ring was bad.
not alcohol. That's a good deal, man. I didn't even think about that. I figured if that would have been it, it'd suck so much air it wouldn't even hardly run. Yeah, that's a good deal, man. I'm glad you got that squared up. Next time you're down through here, we're gonna have to actually plan out a little bit better where we can get together. The White House, I think you were at White House the other night, and I believe that's a good 2 hours from me. That's on the side of Nashville from me. Yep. And
TG said Jimbo said they weren't going to hire him to come back in the end of August.
yeah, well, one thing about it is whenever they're up front with that stuff and they tell you, hey, we're not hiring right now, it's going to be a little bit, at least you know they're not going to put you on and leave you hanging. I mean, I know so many guys that actually go to, excuse me, they go to a company thinking they're going right to work, and they go to work, and then they're leased in, but there's no freight. You know, it's a good thing they at least told you, hey, you know, we're not hiring to the end of August versus putting you on when they ain't got nothing to do. But I mean, like I said, they seem like really good folks over there. So, and I never had a problem with getting a load over there. When COVID, the very first week or so that COVID set in, it was kind of everything was closed. Everything was closed, and they wouldn't anything for about 2 weeks. After that, even though a lot of the towns are still shut down and all that stuff, man, I run my butt off. All the way through COVID, I run my butt off. What'd you do?
Huh?
I said, what'd you do?
I get my sun dry.
I just the way you turn around and look back over your shoulder. Guys, I tell you, I started making a video the other day. I have a new toy. I have wound up with an electric skateboard, and I've only been on this thing once or twice, and I always make sure it was in the grass because it's too far down for me to fall on concrete yet.
And I am trying to get the remote control, let him own it, and let me steer it. You know how fast stuff it goes. If I can get him talked into that,
I don't need nobody else to hold the remote. I can crash this thing plenty fine myself. I'm a big old boy, and I ain't hit the ground since I slipped on the ice up there in Middlebury Yard. I ain't hit the ground that hard, but I mean, I busted my butt big time first 2 or 3 days. But got thinking, it's electric. I can carry it in the truck with me. It's small. It's compact. It's out of the way. That would be cool to have in the truck, because I remember having to walk 7 and 8 miles to a parts store to get parts and stuff, and that could possibly come in handy if I don't break my neck on it.
Brian Anderson said, yes, sir, we sure will. Would have the other day, but had to get to the White House by 4 to pick up the trailer.
Absolutely understand.
mm-hmm.
And Tony Edwards said that Mama just made you some jalapeno relish.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And Chris
Mama,
James
if you're
said
watching, thank you.
Hey, I do appreciate y'all coming in here.
So where's everybody at? I hadn't even, I know a couple of guys stole where they at. I know Tim's working on a race car, and I know Brian and Tony and everybody. Hey, Chris James. Hey.
TJ's in Baltimore.
Baltimore. Man,
How'd
what you
get
doing in
up there?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Baltimore a long way off.
Let's see.
Bill Clark, I ran 74,000 miles from July to December last year with Indiana. I miss it too. Eric is in northern New York.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Gator is in Houston.
Houston.
109 degrees.
I know it's hot down there. And then Baltimore, ain't Baltimore flooded up there, or was flooded a couple days ago?
Really?
I thought I seen on the news. It was Pennsylvania and somewhere else.
I hadn't seen that.
I thought and maybe it wasn't Baltimore. I don't know.
I ain't got to watch the news, mate.
TV's trying to find a house in Tennessee.
Oh heck yeah.
David Cross is in Ohio.
You're at home then.
With his mom.
Well, hi, Mom. Hi, Miss Cross.
Watching y'all.
We doing good, man. How are you doing, buddy? Beatus, how do you say? I don't want to say it wrong. Beatus Transport? Did I get it right?
Right.
I see you all the time. I know how to read it and spell it. I've never actually pronounced it before, so
right.
I'm not sure I got it right.
Jay Evans 90 is in Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania. Golly.
Little Al is leaving Wichita, Kansas.
That
headed to
wouldn't be so bad.
Wisconsin.
I bet that's better than. I imagine it's still hot in Wichita, Kansas too, but I bet it's not as hot as it is down in Houston.
Neil Clark is coming back from California. He's in St. Louis now.
Oh, heck
Well,
yeah.
he's out in front of Tony a little bit then.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
And the ones that come back from California, man, it was hot out there.
Yeah,
I've seen on the thing, they had some records being set for being so hot out there for so long. So
Absolutely.
I imagine that was definitely.
That was something that always kind of blew my mind that with these new trucks, how cool they run out across through there.
Right.
Because it would get hot. I remember the hottest that I ever ran in the white truck was coming back up from Las Vegas, coming from Las Vegas to California, and climbed that big hill coming out of Vegas. It was like, I want to say it was like 118 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all my truck wanted to climb that hill without overheating. It was
That's a
bad.
big old hill, though.
It is.
That's
it was
a hill.
It was so hot there in Vegas, you couldn't walk across the asphalt without burning your feet through tennis shoes.
Right. Is that ain't that the hill that you had your buddy?
Buddy blew all the antifreeze out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so hot it blew all the antifreeze out of that Ford.
They had a Ford and a Chevy both, and both of them blew all the antifreeze out.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say, Vitus Transport? They said, we're doing great. Chris got home last night after a 2.5-month run.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's a good deal. I'm glad y'all doing good and glad he's back home.
Right.
Chris Shank said, CFamer, I'll hit you up tomorrow and want to see if you could possibly help me troubleshoot an issue with my old Danger Ranger.
I'll do my best, man, and I should be around tomorrow, but I got to put I was supposed to put an oil pan gasket on that Freightliner today, but after I got stung, I didn't feel like messing with it, so I need to do that tomorrow, but I'll try to keep my phone handy.
Did you get the oil draining on it?
Man, I ain't move it. I didn't move it.
South Carolina.
I gotta do, and I don't figure I'm gonna do a video on this. I may do a video on changing the oil pan gasket on Detroit, which I don't really figure a lot of you guys are gonna be interested in that. But just to show that I did it and all that for hopefully the potential buyer of the truck will see it's got, that's the main reason why I make videos on the Freightliner, because you know, hopefully whoever buys it one day will be able to go back and look at the videos and say, well, he wouldn't BSing, he actually did the work. So there may be some videos like that, but tomorrow I got to basically do a service, grease it, change oil filter, fuel filters. I got to put an oil pan gasket on it and all new belts. I'm so sick and tired of that thing squealing at me all the time.
Steve Gill said, Mr. Tennessee, I'm still doing the RV transport, and I finally got to go fishing in Montana for 2 days in the Clark Fork River.
Oh, I bet that was nice. Did you catch anything?
And then Mr. Tennessee, TG said, did you move your 12-volt coffee pot to the dump truck?
Well, I didn't, because
He drinks his coffee at home now.
yeah, well, I make it and take it with me in the dump truck. But I broke my coffee pot. I dropped it out of the blue truck. I forgot where I was at, and I dropped it, and it fell, and it busted the lid and everything off of it.
Surely it's only a matter of time before Milwaukee makes an 18-volt coffee pot.
That's what I'm waiting on. So Milwaukee, if you see this, 18-volt coffee pot. Throw a battery in,
Yep.
and
Heck yeah.
have my coffee on the go. But yeah, I mean, dump trucking, I ain't even got my refrigerator in there. I had it when I first started, but I am thinking about taking it and bringing it back to put it in there, because it's done gotten hot now to where my drinks and everything my sun drops don't stay exactly cold, well, like I like them. I like them nice and cold.
And that the refrigerator I bought from you, it's doing the same thing to me in my car. The one that he used to keep in his passenger seat, I've got in the hatchback on the Corvette, and it doesn't put out enough power to make it work right. Because for a while, he was thinking there's something wrong with it, and the blue truck, wasn't it?
No, it was the red truck. The cigarette lighter in the red truck made it to where it wouldn't stay at the same temperature that it's supposed to. But when I moved it to the blue truck, when I got it worked fine.
Yeah.
What?
And that's what it's doing.
People laughing at us
And
on
I thought I'd done messed it up, and I took it out and put it in a different vehicle, and it frees anything to death.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was voltage or what. You know, of
Yeah.
course, I did have a lot of stuff hooked to that red truck
Oh yeah.
that I couldn't hook to the blue truck. You know, like my amp and sub.
Right. Well, and I got so much stuff going on in that car, it keeps the battery drained not so bad, and especially the stereo and stuff.
All right, you need to get some new rubber for that
No
car.
doubt. That thing was all over the road. It was raining like crazy here last night, and I was trying to drive back. I wasn't over here, but I was out on the interstate on 65 in it, and man, it was all over the road. Them big old wide tires with no tread on them, they didn't like it at all.
And this week, you know, I actually got, you know, it done a lot of raining here in Tennessee, like it has everywhere else. But I think I worked Monday and Tuesday. Then I got rained out for Wednesday and rained out Thursday. And I went and hauled some custom loads Friday. So I had 2 days off, which is, you know, it was kind of nice. Just wake up and go turn the news on, have my coffee here at the house.
Oh, yeah.
Go down here to the chuck wagon, eat breakfast, and you know, fried eggs, bacon, and tater tots, and gravy and biscuit, all the good stuff.
Steve Gill said he only caught one trout, but nobody else was catching anything, so he was lucky.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
And the main thing is to be able to do that and have fun. And said that you done that.
That's something else we didn't get to do, man. Stuff like that, and I mean, hell, the Snake River Canyon was awesome.
Yeah, I feel so. We did go floating.
Yeah, we did.
Snake River Canyon.
TG said, "Is that your Kurt Q24 hitch behind you?" Yes, it is.
Oh wow.
He said he bent his Kurt A25 top section, so called online $600 just for the top section.
I'll tell you what. You can come and get this one, and you can have it for $200. How about that? I ain't got the rail, but I guess I got the top part.
Midas Transport said that y'all can send the rain their way.
I wish we could.
I definitely wish we could, but I've seen that for the next 7 days we don't get no rain, so that's a good thing.
So it sounds like a Super Duty, and it doesn't get any traction when it's wet. That you know, when I had good tires on it, I was worried when I bought that car. I took off to Niagara Falls in it, and the tires on the back of that thing are huge. And it started raining on me, and I thought, man, this thing gonna be all over the road. But it did good until they get down low on tread, and then it's all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't know they could see that thing.
I didn't either. He said that, and I was turning around looking for it.
It's back there, and I am trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to sell it.
Todd St. John said his wife and him went to Holly Beach, Louisiana a few weeks back, and people were catching baby sharks.
Oh,
Really? Wow. I seen on the news, have anybody seen this, to where, you know, it was talking about the movie Cocaine Bear, which I've seen, which is a really good movie. But they was talking about a bunch of cocaine was washing up on the beach, so now they're coming out with cocaine sharks because the sharks were getting into the cocaine. Big old things of it, and sharks washing up on the beach, and sharks were getting it. Hey, I just thought that was something interesting.
Oh, yeah.
TG said I need Duramax pins.
What pins are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. I feel like I ought to know that one. Long bed, pins. I'm still not following which pins are we talking about. Wow, that's crazy. 100 degrees all month this past month.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, that's.
Chevy and Ram have different spacings. Two both. You probably both ends, right? Chevy and Ram have different spacings at both ends.
What are you talking about?
You go back a little bit.
We must be missing something. What pins are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. I think Chevy and Ram have different spacing to bolt. So you're talking about if you were to mount this one in the bed of your truck, in the bed of your Chevy?
He said
your
to mount
Chevy?
in the bed.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
TJ, if it's the puck system, yes, but rails are universal.
That's what
Right.
I'm
My
thinking.
Yeah.
rail hitches in my super duty.
Right. Yeah. It's not a puck system. It's the rail system. So it goes to any of them. I mean, I
Do
can
you
take.
have the rail system in your truck, or do you have the puck? I can't remember.
No.
Yeah, that would mess you up.
Oh, you got the puck.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it won't work in.
yeah. But if you had the rails, it should work.
The hitch.
The hitch itself, the hitch head should still be the same. Yes. Yeah.
What was that? Tony Edwards said, Mr. Tennessee, you need to put out more videos on dump trucking.
Do y'all want to see videos on dump trucking? The reason I ain't made a whole lot of videos on dump trucking is because I didn't think y'all be interested in it, just to be honest with you. So if y'all want to see some more dump trucking, I can make some. Matter of fact, I would enjoy making some. That way it gives you more opportunity to talk to y'all in comments and everything.
You got a GoPro, I told him.
Right, I got a GoPro and
Well, speaking from experience last week, that GoPro is aggravating as crap. I don't know. I see the guys, you watch these other people's videos and they're running around with their GoPros. I don't understand how they edit them videos. I mean, I do too. They have other people editing. But for
right.
one person, like me doing my own and him doing his own and all that, it would be a handful.
Yeah.
It would be such a handful.
Now, Clark said yes. Put out the video.
I'll get it done.
And I've got one coming out Tuesday, and that's the last one that I've worked on. I've got one that I've been working on that's been kicking my butt all over the place, and I've started to throw it out a few times, but I feel like it'll help somebody. Whenever I did the transmission cooler lines on my truck, I actually replaced the AC condenser as well, but I didn't record that into a video. I was just doing, I had it on my mind, I just got to fix the transmission lines. So I did that, and whenever I got down and remembered my AC condenser was leaking, then I went ahead and replaced it, and I recorded it, but it's kind of like on accident. But I've been trying to make a video out of that because when I put that thing in, I didn't know if I was going to have to pull the radiator and the air to air out and get it from the engine side, or if I can get it from just by taking the grill and all that out. But yeah, you can. I definitely got it in without pulling. I just pulled the grill out and pulled that support across the front, pulled it out, and where the AC condenser was completely exposed, and I got it out that way. And I've been working on that video, but it's kicking my butt. It's liable to come out like a collage of pictures.
Is there going to be a video whenever you start doing the work on the truck?
Absolutely. I've already talked to the guy and told, because he is like a spider monkey. When he gets on something, ever since we was in high school, if he's got something to do, he don't talk, he jumps in, he knocks it out, gets it done, and gets on to the next one. And I asked him, I said, so if I bring it over here, I really have to make a video on this. I want it, and other people want to see it too. Are you going to be able to slow down a little bit and, change gears a little bit so we can get it all on video? He said, yeah, that's fine. He said, I'll do my best. So,
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch the whole cab and everything come up.
well, he's talking about instead of pulling the cab, pulling the front clip and raising the front of the cab and pulling it out that way. Because I tell you, my idea was I got access to a tractor with a front end loader on it. I don't have a 2-post lift. And my thoughts was rigging it up on straps and picking the cab up that way. That was my first thought. And it'd make a good video until the strap broke or slipped off, and then I'd have a total truck trying to explain to the insurance company how that happened.
Right, yeah.
So we'll probably go his way and just pull the front clip and jack the front of the cab up. I'm worried that I'm going to get my neck into the microphone. My whiskers going to scratch. But
Oh, you got them trimmed up very good, though. Yeah,
here, let's
be all
just
right.
move it over to the side.
Yeah.
Richard Cole said, I enjoy your videos, would love some more dump truck videos. Bill Clark said flatbedding too. TG said, yeah, agree on dump truck and flatbedding, set up good stuff.
Well,
Good deal.
The one that comes out Tuesday, I thought it turned out okay, but I've got a lot to learn about. I need more cameras, but with more cameras comes more aggravation with editing and all that stuff. But in the big truck, there's just not a. Did I tell you about almost ran on my phone up in Chicago?
That don't surprise me.
I was trying.
You didn't tell me, but that don't surprise me.
The place I delivered at, we had to back out.
Right.
So on the first one, I stuck the GoPro back there, and it fell over. But where it was at, it couldn't hit the ground.
Right.
But my
Right.
phone's so slim, I put it back there this past week. I didn't go back to the same place, and it fell. It hit the ground, and I nearly backed over. I had no idea it had fallen, and I'm backing up, and I'm like, oh, wow, somebody dropped their phone. It was mine. So,
Well, you run over one already.
I know.
So
I know. And
maybe you ought to get one of them mounts, some round mounts with a magnet.
my truck's fiberglass and aluminum, though. It won't stick to nothing.
We can figure out something.
I gotta, yeah. If I ever get the camera situation figured out, I wanted one of the cameras like David Cross has got in his truck. That thing's awesome. The rear view camera that does the forward-facing dash camera, but it's a rear view mirror. And when you look at it, you can see what's behind you, and that's awesome because I don't have a back window in the truck, and the camera would be mine on the back of the truck, but I would dread running that wire. That'd be a pain in the butt, and I don't know how easy that one is to download the video from and stuff, but if I can ever get my ducks in a row with the cameras, I will definitely be putting that on video.
We can definitely
Dickie
drill
said
some.
he'll bring you an army helmet with mounts.
Hey, that would work. That would, and with all that, I'm sure they wouldn't say nothing about me having a hard hat. I want to go.
There you go.
And Bad Bubba Nation said afternoon.
What's going on, Bad Bubba?
And Daniel said, I'm here, I'm late, but just wondering if either of you thought about doing Hot Shot.
Go ahead.
I've actually kicked around the idea, and I told my wife, I was like, it wasn't that long ago. A few days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm thinking about going to buy another truck, and she told me real quick no. So I kicked the idea around for a little bit, but she shut it down. I don't know if she likes having me at home or.
No, I don't like it.
Right.
I love it.
I've been driving. I've had my driver's license for 25 years of this being gone. So, do I miss the RV transport? Yes. The RV transport is the funnest job I've ever had.
Hands down.
I
have a question.
Yeah.
Do you miss flatbed?
No.
Do you miss having your own 18-wheeler?
Well,
Tarpon can go by.
okay. I hated the tarpon. I hated doing some of the stuff, but now I did like being my own boss. I've talked about that in videos. Being your own boss is yeah, it is to me, because I do miss that. And coming in now, and I'm having to put your time card and everything. Now I did get a $2 raise the other day, so that was good. But just punching that time card and have to be there at a certain time. I'm used to just going to sleep, wake up whenever I want to, don't set no alarms, but getting up at 4 o'clock every morning kind of sucks.
Yeah. I get up at 9, 10.
Yeah.
I call him, see where he's at. He's like, man, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't like big trucking no more, but I'll take it over 4 o'clock, 4 in the
Right.
morning.
I miss being my own boss. I miss doing my own thing. And so that's hard.
Now, the hot shot, and from my answer on that, once you start adding a trailer and you start adding equipment and you start adding all the stuff it takes to do hot shotting, I know there are some guys out there that make absolute killer money doing it, and I know there's some guys out there that make really good money doing it. And you can get, if you get into specialized hot shot freight, you're gonna make a killing.
Right.
But if I'm gonna have the equipment and all that stuff, I would just assume be in an 18-wheeler. Once you put a trailer behind me all the time, I'm back. I'm back in a realm that I don't want to be in. So that if I got to do that, I just assume be an 18-wheeler. At least then I do have the big bedroom and all that. Even though, like I say, I just cannot get comfortable with all that much room around. I've 3.5 years living in a pickup. And next thing, it's like moving into a penthouse with no furniture. It's just a big empty room.
Right. Well, you got to feel it. That's what I did on mine. On my Peterbilt, I had the big sleeper too. But, I had my refrigerators. I had me a big TV mounted up. I had my PlayStation in there, microwave. And
All the way from home.
Yeah, it was a home away from home. I mean, and yes, I didn't have internet there for the PlayStation, but now they got now stuff where you could, get that. But I couldn't play it online. But back there, put a movie in.
So
You just can't stay still anyway. You got to be doing something.
well, I don't. I really like being home.
Yeah.
I like traveling. I really do. But whenever you're traveling for work and it starts turning into a job, I'm ready to go to the house. If it starts getting aggravating and frustrating, screw it, I'm going home.
And you got another video you fixing to start working on that is going to be pretty interesting too. I'm waiting to see that video. What you got coming here in a few days?
I think oh yeah. Yeah, if y'all remember last year whenever I was having the turbo actuator went down on the truck, my air conditioner went out, my central unit went out, but I was never at home, so I didn't spend the money to fix it because I was trying to shop around, find a better price and all this, that, and the other. And next thing I know, it's wintertime. Didn't need it. Well, then after the truck going down and one thing after another this year, I'm just not getting around to fixing it. And instead of going back with a central unit and paying somebody big money to come out and do that, I decided to go with a mini split. So I haven't made a decision whether or not I'm going to make a video on it because I really need to go back to work. I've been off since Wednesday, and it's not going to be here until I think Wednesday. And there's no way after it's 90 degrees in my house last night. There's no way it's going to be there, and I'm not going to put it in before I leave.
Right.
So I'll kind of be in a rush putting it in,
but at least do some kind of video on showing what it is, what it does, and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I don't get to do the installation, I'm definitely going to do a review because my buddy Overlook Valley, Mark at McNeil Motorsports or Overlook Valley, whichever one he's under now, he did a video on a 12,000 BTU mini split, and he said his utility bills went down enough that he's had it long enough. He's almost paid for it.
Right.
And
you ordered one double, didn't you?
Yeah, mine's 24,000 BTU, so it ought to be a bad dude. And for what I'm giving for it, it's not bad. I mean, I couldn't have paid for the labor of putting in a new center unit for what I gave for the mini split.
Right.
And it's 24,000. I think they said 24,000 BTU would cover up to 1,200 square foot, and my house is 1,198 square foot or something like that.
I'm kind of curious on it too, because I might want one later on to put in my house. Just to add, everybody right now wanting cut down on electric bill and anything, food's expensive, everything's expensive. But y'all ask any questions and everything that you want, and I know she's fixing to say that y'all got some because we're just throwing this up, just say hi, and just talk to y'all because we ain't got to hurt me all in a while.
I was coming by over here to hang out with him, and we decided when we nailed it down, I was going to get a chance to come by. We decided we'd just all hang out together.
Right. So.
Brian Anderson said, Mr. Tennessee, you can ask CFamer what I told him the other night about what content you guys can put out.
I don't have the body for it, Mr. Anderson. I'm getting arthritis. I can't move like that no more. I think I know what he's talking about.
Well, I kind of got a funny feeling just by the way you're acting what it was.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was thinking about it. Daggone, somebody paid to see truck drivers' daggone feet. They got out there for a minute.
I'm telling you now, if y'all want pictures of my feet,
yeah,
it costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Robert Sullivan said they were hauling RVs, now they're flatbed gooseneck out of Johnson City, Tennessee.
Ah, Johnson City. Are you doing pretty good with it?
Neil Clark said I work on my own as well, so watching it does help me too because he's no mechanic.
Now we're talking about. Cause I know a lot of people got the Duramaxes and the pickups and all that stuff. You running a big truck or you running pickup? Man, where that wash got me earlier, I haven't taken anything for it. I did put some tobacco on it and try to get swelling out, but my head is starting to get loopy as all get out. So if I sound a little bit off or hesitate for a minute, that's what it is.
Okay. But Chris James back on the other set, the camera said, those cameras are awesome. I've got one in the Super Duty. You get near Carolina, I'll let you get it.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, I got one I'm fitting to ring up. The only problem I came up with, this week I was driving down the road and I'm looking where the rearview mirror would go. And at first, in my mind, I was thinking, man, that'd be awesome. But after I got in there, I'm just not sure about it no more. I'm gonna look at it a little bit closer. But if I decide to get one, if you think about getting rid of yours, I'd rather buy yours all day than buy one off Amazon or somewhere. But
TG said, what's the truth on Ram for 2024? Are they built better?
I ain't been around nobody with a 24.
Well,
I don't know, guys. I'll be honest with you. That 18 is probably gonna be about as new as unless I hit the lottery and I can just afford to try stuff out. And honestly, I just don't, and on the Duramaxes, there for a long time. I think Brian Anderson, I think he got a 15, and yours looks almost identical to mine. So, and I don't mind that body style. I kind of like it. So, it's not that I don't like the newer body styles. It's just all that technology.
What?
I don't know that I'll ever buy a newer truck. If I could buy the perfect truck for me today, it would be not necessarily for RV transport or nothing else. I would either buy another truck identical to mine, 3/4 ton, 2018 L5P or older, or an LML, or I would buy the same truck in a 3500 long wheelbase dealer.
18 Dodge for me. I mean, y'all seen what happened to me.
Yeah.
I bought a newer truck and it put me out of business. And there's still a lot of y'all out there. I get a lot of emails and still that people with the same trucks with that blue one are just junk. I mean,
Well, the thing gets me is you can't get parts for it. I think me and Brian Anderson were talking about it the other day. If you got an LML or you got one of the older 6.7s or something like that, and that's the reason I bought that Freightliner, why I jumped all over it. One, I didn't have to have an ELD, and for two, man, there's a guy down the road from my house right there in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and he has acres and acres and acres of them trucks. If there's a part that I need, I can find it in that junkyard, and I don't even have to call Freightliner.
well, I kind of wish I kept my 18 red. I kind of wish that I kept. I do miss it. I mean, I put 300-something thousand miles on it, and didn't have no problems out of it. So, but at that time, hauling campers was great. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna get another truck. That way, I got a spare.
Well, if that blue truck wouldn't have been a disaster, you'd still have both trucks.
Right, I would. I'd
If
still be out there hauling campers.
Even if the red truck would have given some issues, you'd still have both trucks if the blue truck wouldn't give all the issues.
Right, sandwich maker be driving red.
Yep.
that's right. Robert Sullivan said, leased on to R&R Transport Services of Tennessee, LLC. We stay busy but home most weekends.
With a gooseneck?
Is a gooseneck, right?
You'll have to ask them. I don't know.
Well, I'm just trying to think because I got a little confused there, but he's one that was out of East Tennessee with a gooseneck a while ago, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
Tony, my buddy Tony that was running with me in a lot of the videos, he's looking for a hot shot place to lease into. So if y'all know of any reputable hot shot companies, he's got his own trailer, he's already got all the equipment, all he's looking for is somebody to sign him on, put him to work.
And he's ready. Matter of fact, he was in this live. So whether he's still here or not.
Yeah, I'm
Tony,
sure he's probably
you still here? But he is definitely looking for somebody. So if you have the information, if you want to email it to me or CFamer, then we'll pass it down and give it to Tony.
Or just leave it right here in this live in the comments. That way we can tell him to come back and check the comments after he left if he's not here. But I bet he's here.
Right.
I bet he's just listening in. But
Neil Clark, TG, and Chris James said they all miss sleeping in the truck.
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt.
I mean, it's just,
great.
once you get used to it, it's great. I mean,
Now, I don't miss the first 2 months of sleeping in the truck because I was sleeping on a daggone sleeping bag across the back seat of the truck. Now, I don't miss those days. I mean, that was painful. I about crippled myself doing that. And I burnt my driver's seat because when I get where I'm going at night, I just lay the seat back and just crash right there in the driver's seat. And I wish I'd never done that because it trashed my driver's seat.
Yeah,
I
right off the gate, I went to Walmart and bought me a king-size memory foam mattress and cut it in half, cut the ends off of it, stuck it in there, and been great the whole time. I always slept good in the truck.
Mad Bubba said, get your own tri-axle dump truck.
There you
We
go.
always talk about.
Right, the triangle dump truck. Well, the guy who I'm working for right now just bought 3, and because they're fixing to change, and the reason is because they're fixing to change the styles of them. That's gonna be the last year you can buy them with a hood. They're changing the styles on the dump truck. They're taking away the hoods, and they're $300 and some $1,000 a piece. He give over $1 million. Huh? Yeah, he give over $1 million for 3. So, dump trucks. Whenever I first started driving, you could buy a brand new dump truck for $80,000. Now they're $300 something $1,000. That's a big difference.
Well,
Chris James says TG, unfortunately, he needed an engine for his truck, so he's debating on what to do. Either fix it or send it back to the bank.
oh man,
How many miles on it?
on Chris's truck,
Yeah.
I don't remember. He told me, but I've had so much go by since then.
It's a hard
I hate
decision to
that.
make.
That was funny. That it's not funny at all. It's not humorous, but it's not even coincidental. I just thought it was random that David's truck went down. And David's truck went down. Then my truck went down, and then Chris's truck went down. Just one week, next week, seemed like. But that's pretty good, man. I'm glad you. I hear a lot of different stories about some people that do really good with gooseneck and hot shotting, and I hear other people that say they just can't never get it going. So there's another gentleman. I don't know if he's in here tonight. Jason Johnson,
I haven't seen him.
and he seems to be doing pretty good with it. He seems to be enjoying what he's doing anyway, and home quite a bit and all that. And I talked to him not long ago, and he got a Duramax, buddy. He's not had the luck I've had out of mine out of his. It's a newer truck, but it's give a lot of issues for him, and I hate that. I feel extremely fortunate. I say that if I was going to replace my truck, I'd go buy another just like it, but I could go buy another just like it, get the biggest lemon you ever did see.
That's true. Now, I do know somebody that has a Mike, which I don't think he is there, Mike from Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikey. And he sold his truck and went and bought a 24 one just like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's a 2500 instead of 35. The only issues he's saying with it is the springs. He's going to definitely put airbags on it.
Yeah, he had that single wheel 3500.
Mhm.
That thing will hold a load a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Oh yeah.
Robert Sullivan said that R&R Transport is hiring like crazy.
Okay. And Tony is in here?
And Tony is in here.
Okay.
And Chris James says the miles are about 340,000.
340,000.
40,000.
And then TG said, I was told this week to wait a few more months if I wanted to buy a used 2020 Freightliner for $30K with 400,000 miles.
So what now? How much?
40,000.
40,000 miles for 30,000.
30,000 and
That's actually a good price.
yeah,
right
I was
now.
just to say that's a really good price.
30K.
Yeah.
That's a really good price.
It
right now
is.
from what I've seen. 'Cause
Yeah.
trucks are through the
They are.
aggravating roof right now.
And if that one's in good shape.
Yeah. I gave more than what I thought I would have for that one. I knew it needed some work when I bought it. But at first I played it off so we can get back to the big truck. And he asked me, do I want to come work for him at first? And I said, no, don't want to do that. He said, well, why don't you just buy it from me? I said, no, I don't want to do that neither. And he shot me a price on it, and I said, no, don't want to do that either. So, and then I got thinking about it. I was exploring my options and looking for engines just in case, worst case scenario, which I think it's probably going to be. But, and then I got thinking about it. I'm crazy not to go do that right now, so that's why I bought that truck. But I'm not gonna say at this particular point in time what I give for it, but yeah, it was that 30,000 for a 2020 model is
Yeah,
a low price.
that's a really good deal.
Neil Clark says, I bought a 2017 Freightliner with 665,000 miles for 35,000 miles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep. And the older the truck, it seems like the more they bringing right now.
Right.
It says used semis, TG said used semi prices have been dropping for about 4 months in a row.
Right. And they have that. I noticed it since I bought mine. Which you can bet your butt, if there's something good going and I get into it.
Well, there's also something that you're going to have to look forward to anyway is whenever these electrics
Right,
come out.
right.
Then that's what it's going to do.
Oh.
I mean, could y'all picture CFamer in an electric Chevrolet hauling campers?
I got the only electric vehicle I'll ever own right here, and it's a skateboard.
It's a
That's right.
skateboard.
Robert Sullivan said a Chevy 4,500 dually 4x4 for 72,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crew cab, diesel long bed.
Golly.
That's, I mean, but in today's market, that's not a bad price.
4,500.
For a 4,500 in today's market, that's not a bad price. But realistically, you know what we should be giving for a truck versus what we make. I don't understand how they expect people to make it.
Right. When I bought the 18, I paid $50,000 for it. Whenever I bought ordered the 22, $74,000.
That's a 2024.
Wow. Well, and I bought my white truck, the L5P. I give it 18,000 miles on it, and I give 62,000 for it.
I know somebody that bought a 24 and it was 80 something, almost 90,000 miles for a 2500.
Chris James says he still finds it odd how David Cross and him both had an oil pan gasket replaced and about the same mileage later their engines go.
Yeah,
right.
I find that I find that something. I can't use 4-letter words on YouTube. On it, especially when I'm on somebody else's channel. So yeah, I think that's messed up.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and I really think it messed up after, David's drive shaft. You know, the bolts were loose on a drive shaft. They didn't. That just made me wonder what else they didn't put back together right.
And that's why I was always scared of taking mine somewhere. That's why if I didn't know how to do it, I'd get on YouTube or I'd call Robbie. Hey man, I need some help.
Well, that's like at Freightliner. My buddy, the guy that I bought the truck from, he says, take that truck somewhere and get the oil pan gasket put on it. Enjoy your time off. I'm like, I won't be able to enjoy my time off because there's only 2 people I trust to work on it. One of them is retired. I mean, he got a bad leg and he's not working on trucks anymore. And I can't afford to weed through mechanic stuff. I'm one that I know that I can trust because every time I try to use one that I think is going to do me a good job, then I wind up paying them big bucks, bringing the truck home, redoing it myself. And this way, I know that I did it the way I want it. And if it falls apart the next week, I know I got to refix it from what I did wrong the first time. But I am getting too old for it. My hand's starting to swell up and.
Well, it's also like when I first bought the 18. Yeah. I brung it here and the very first service on it, I was going to change the fuel filter on the top housing. You know, it's got the on the Dodge, it's got that plastic. Well, I was trying to take it off and I cracked it. Mm-hmm. So I took it down here to Dodge in Fayetteville, and they said, "Oh, you got to have a whole new pump, not just a cap, and it's going to be like $1,400."
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't think so. So I pulled out my phone right there in front of him and called C&T down here at the parts, and they said, yeah, I can have you one tomorrow for $60-something.
Yeah.
And that guy was like, oh, well, okay, then, we'll try to do something. I was like, oh, no. I brought the truck back home, went and got the thing and fixed it myself because you don't know what you're getting into whenever you go to dealerships. I mean, I've been screwed so many, especially I will not go to Fayetteville at all.
That's the bad part about it is there's some really excellent mechanics and some really good dealerships and some really excellent mechanic shops. But by the time you wade through the ones that's going to take advantage, and I lose my temper on stuff like that. And I can't afford bail money.
Right.
And I don't like showing out like that. So I just need to go home and take all that energy I would have put into that cussing and put it into doing work myself.
Neil Clark said I bought a 2012 F-250 long bed to haul campers for $18,000. Still runs like a beast with 232,000 miles on it.
Heck yeah.
Good deal.
Awesome.
And Josh, he said he bought the touch screen. He wanted to know if you broke into the pickles that he gave you.
I actually did. They're gone, and I do appreciate it. They were very good. Yeah, I got them nice and cold, and then, yeah, I broke into them. They ain't last long. They ain't last long, but I do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, but by the way, is the screen still done good? You still liking it?
Touch screen, you talking about
The one that you come over and help me? He got the truck identical, the red, red? Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. Linkswell.
Yeah.
You know I miss my AI box so bad it ain't funny. It won't work in the Freightliner because it ain't got no screen in it.
I don't even have a screen in my truck no more. I got a little low generic radio I
I've
put
been
in.
trying to figure out every which way I can. A Linkswell ain't gonna fit. One of them little Android radios, I ain't found one of them to fit because they got the switches right over top and the climate control right at the bottom.
Right.
You know, you can do like a flip out or something like that, what I got in the car, but it'll be all up in the way of everything else.
Right.
TG said, honestly, I hope my dealership closes soon and allow us to place an order online just the way we want and honest pricing.
Right.
Well, I don't know if they do it for the different places or not, but I'm on that GM Parts store and GM Parts Direct and all that stuff because that turbo actuator was going to be $1,290 at the dealership in town if I could have got it from them, but they said they couldn't get national back order.
Right.
Then I checked and I called. Man, I thought I called everywhere, but then I found GM Parts Store online and called. I saw it showed to be available, and a lot of places online showed it was available. When you go to check out, it'd say item not in stock. We'll let you know when it comes
Right.
up. Well, I actually called them, and she said, no, we've got it. I can have it in the mail to you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, how much? She said, well, because you don't pay taxes because you bought it online, which I wasn't real sure about that because everybody else charges taxes. Because you're not paying I guess the state tax on them. And because you're not buying it from a dealership where there's a markup and a stocking fee, she said $705 or seven. It's just over $700.
Right.
And it was at my house in 3 days. So anytime before I even call the dealership, unless I need a part number, I jump straight into the.
Yeah, you had a bunch of people looking, and we was looking at used ones. We found places with used ones that was $1,600 and stuff like that.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Chris Galvin said, I got bail money for you and a Happy Meal for Mr. Tennessee.
Hey, Chris.
What's going on, Chris? Yeah, I need that Happy Meal. I do. But, yeah, I still got to get you one. You bought me, let's see, yeah, you bought me a little Happy Meal, so I got to buy you one next when we get to see each other. So, how you been, you done went back to your original job? Or are you still holding on to the trucks and doing a little bit of RV part-time or something?
Well, he's on answer that, but Josh said, yes, sir, it's still working great. I would love to sell my truck to someone wanting to get into RV transport.
Dang, I hate to sell that truck. It's a nice truck.
And then
Which one, Chris?
Yeah, the one, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good radio.
one is identical to mine.
Yep.
How many miles you got on that truck now? And what do you want for it? Put it down here. Somebody might be interested, might be looking.
Guys, I'm not supposed to do that on camera. Oh, I'll be back.
TG said, FYI, I've been buying Shell Rotella 5W40 synthetic oil, 2.5 gallon for $65 compared to last year, not finding any at the price.
Yeah, it was crazy last year. Matter of fact, I was one of those people that hoarded it. I had a whole shelf in there full of oil because every time my wife should go to Walmart, oh yeah, they got some, get it all. You know, I had lots of it, and then because it was hard to get, and I was using Mobil 1 synthetic and that. Now on my motorcycle, I'm not using synthetic on it. It's a 95 model. Got an S&S carburetor on it. Now, I ordered and should be here, I think tomorrow or Monday, a case of that Lucas oil 2050 that's not synthetic. Has any of y'all ever used Lucas oil, and is it good? This is gonna be my first time, and I'm gonna run it through that bike and see. And I'm actually thinking about buying it and start putting it in my vehicles too, because I use Lucas and everything, and I love their products. I was just curious if any of y'all out there have ever used Lucas motor oil, and how did it work for you?
on, but he was eating steaks too.
Oh, was you? Was it good? Heck yeah. Ain't nothing like a good old steak.
Chris Galvin said, yes, made my last drop Wednesday. Made it home midnight last, start back at City on Monday.
So are you still going to be hauling campers any, or are you just giving that up altogether? He'll get back.
Oh, he got the skateboard out.
CFamer has got his electric skateboard out, and if he falls, I'm gonna get up, jerk this camera around so I can let everybody see it. Can't get no traction?
You can't on the concrete up here.
Oh, it's been raining a lot.
I've run nothing but Harley oil in my bike, full synthetic.
Well, I say I don't want to run synthetic, and when I serviced it, I put Harley oil in it, but I also put Lucas in it too. So I didn't know because I heard some people run it, and since my bike is a 95, if I had a newer bike that uses synthetic, yes, but this one never had synthetic put in it, and I figured if you put synthetic in it, it's gonna start, slobbering.
Chris Gavin said no, he's city full time.
All right, city full time. Well, I hate that.
Josh said 192,000 miles. I would take 40,000 for it. It is everything. It has everything to start an RV and has a 108-gallon fuel tank as well.
Right. So if anybody's looking for a truck, there's one identical to red. Did you fall?
No.
Okay. Well, I didn't know you still wearing the mic, right? No?
Oh, no, I took that off so it wouldn't be so loud as fast, ain't that?
Right, well, yeah. I was going to say, because if you fall, I'm going
to
laugh.
Don't lie.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh. I'm not going to.
Oh, there you go.
Work for it.
That's right.
I ain't really done this yet.
CFamer playing with his toys.
Yeah, I figure I'll put a hitch on it.
He put a hitch on it, huh?
Chris James said, I think that this slowdown is going to put many out of business.
It is, and not only it being a slowdown, now somebody telling me that Indiana their yards are starting to pick up again, but it's just a point of cutting rates. And to me, it's like this. Whenever you keep cutting the rates so much and you can't build up a maintenance fund, then you're heading toward trouble, because the maintenance fund is very, very important. And whenever I had the blue truck, that blue truck ate up my maintenance fund. I mean, it just destroyed it. And whenever you maintenance fund is very important. I mean, it's like extremely, it's a must. It's definitely a must.
Mel Clark said, mine's a 2019, so an older bike, Lucas, won't hurt it.
Good deal. Good deal.
Now, another thing.
You don't know sun drop? You mean go get it? You won't get it. But you got to sit down and put the mic on and entertain whenever I go get the sun drop.
Well, Tony Edwards says that he heard Green Design laid a bunch of people off.
Well, you know.
Chris said 400.
400?
400 people.
Oh, dang. I'll be right back, y'all.
That's the bad part about it is I'm not trying to be just totally negative, but I don't just feel like it's RV transport. I feel like everything is fitting to get bad. And I hope I can get, like with me and what I'm doing, I hope I can make enough money fast enough that I can put back some of my maintenance money that I've spent on this big truck and other stuff before things get real bad. Because I don't really think it's going to matter what you're doing. Even right down to short of working at Walmart, I think things are going to get pretty bad. No matter what area you're in. But.
Todd St. John's said, I don't know about a slowdown. I was picking up a unit on Wednesday afternoon, and our shoulder drivers were bringing them in as fast as they could.
Yeah. Now I've heard that, and I talked to a couple of other people this week that's been staying busy. But it's like, thank you. It's like I say, I think that, but before, I'm not gonna get into politics or nothing, but before this election comes around, I think things are gonna slow way down and get real bad for me doing the flatbed and hauling steel, and anybody else doing anything else. Unless you happen to be like that big electric battery plant going in Glendale, Kentucky, or different places like that all over the country. I think if you ain't hauling to one of them or working at one of them or something like that, it wouldn't surprise me if everything don't get real bad in the next few months.
Well, but the thing, and I ain't on mic, but the thing about it is, we're getting to you're ready to do another election. It always it always gets better at the end because whoever's in office wants to try to make everything better,
Right.
so they can try to get in.
And that's true. And it don't matter if you're going from Democrat to Republican to Democrat.
Right.
They always want to make it look better. So we got one good shot coming up before everything turns over, and then right afterwards, it seems to me like everything kind of slows down again a little bit, and then it'll pick back up, and then it'll go whichever way it's going to go.
Right.
You know? But that's one thing we do got to look forward to is getting closer to the election. Things should go a little bit better.
TG said, I heard that one of the models of Grand Design that was not selling, so they canceled the entire line and laid off that team. But I'm not 100% sure on the facts.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Chris Galvin said, I haven't pulled a camper the last 3 months. I was running mainly.
Be easy, she's torquey.
The Amazon van.
Oh, you ain't getting on.
This will fall. You better get your ice grippy shoes on your feet.
I was finna say that man, if somebody would have been recording whenever I first got on that skateboard, that would have been a video. I busted my butt like 3 times hardcore. It was one of the things where I got up on it and I pulled the trigger and I was like, wow, there it goes across the yard. Then I see my tennis shoes and I'm like, oh, shoot, bam, hit the ground.
Neil Clark said, I'm hauling for United Van Lines at the moment and it's going slow too.
Anything heavy.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying. It doesn't.
Sorry, Mr. Tennessee, I almost fell.
Don't push it all at one time. If you've done it all one time, it'll go.
You know this is live.
And I think it's turned down a little bit. I don't think it's on the high setting, but it'll still come out from under you. If you pull it back, it's a brake. But it takes a while for that brake to come. Now you got it in reverse. I guess you do. Look at you go. See, it took me all this time to build up to riding that thing backwards. Look at him go. He's halfway down the driveway in reverse.
I was like, you'll hold my hands so you don't fall.
Yeah, I was wishing I busted my drone when I was out there went out to get David, or was bringing David back. I was going to get some video in there, that tow bar, making circles in the parking lot. I hardcore crashed Leroy into the curb, which is my drone, and I super glued the arm back. I used some epoxy to get the arm back on him, and it didn't. It held up for a little bit, and then it just quit communicating with my phone and the controller. But if I had my drone, I could get some real good videos of the big truck and of the skateboard. But
that skateboard pretty fun.
It could be.
Timothy Glover said he uses molly oil.
Use what?
Molly oil.
Molly oil.
Let's see, Chris James said Ford has actually shut down one of the plants that they were building, was wanting to get on in Memphis.
Really?
David Cross said that Blackbird bombed your drone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a bird attacked it and crashed the drone. And it hasn't been right since. I took plastic epoxy and put it back together, and it held up good for a minute. I flew it around all day long, and the next time I went to hook it up, it didn't work, and then I could get him out of the box the next time, and I went to fold the arm out, and it broke off. But I'm sure I'll figure something out. Eventually, I'll just buy the newer, that drone, I meant to do a video on it. I beat that thing to death. I crashed it many times. I crashed it
Yeah.
into a tree. I was trying to make a video. The video where I put the company sent me some lights to put on my flatbed on my gooseneck. And I was driving through a field in the middle of the night with them lights lit up on the back of it. And I was trying to get like a panoramic view going around. And I was sitting here thinking, you know, to be driving the truck and flying a drone and trying to figure all stuff out by myself in the middle of the night, I'm doing pretty good, sleep deprived and all. And I'm watching the video come across on my phone. And I'm like, man, that's perfect. That's perfect. And then wham, he flew into a tree in the woods. It took me from 1:30 in the morning to about 3 o'clock to get him out of that tree, to find him and get him down. He was way up in the tree. It was a mess.
Well, Brian Anderson said, guys, it's been fun. Just put the pontoon in the water. We're crappie fishing tonight. Glad y'all did this live.
On our way.
Yeah, yeah. On the way, yeah, definitely.
Yes, sir. You have a good night and be safe.
Hunt, thanks for joining. All right. Well,
Well,
about ready?
I'm thinking we're probably going to shut it down before it gets dark. I'm going to get out here and see if I can hurt myself on a skateboard.
Right. And if he gets too crazy with it, I'll try to get a video.
Yeah, I think batteries get on actually. It would normally do a little better than that. But yeah, like both of us, me and him both, we want to keep putting out videos, and we're going to, and we're trying. It's just so freaking life is just all up in the way, just like I know it is for some of y'all too. You know?
Yeah.
But we'll get back around to it. We'll get back on track and back on schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever I know it's a pretty hot topic, the light truck. I don't foresee me ever selling that truck or getting rid of it. It's mine until it's ready to go junkyard, and I plan on making videos of everything I ever do to it. So the video of that engine getting tore down is coming, and I'm not letting anybody else do it. That'll be me. So stay tuned for that.
Right.
TG said, as always, good to talk to you guys and me. And me, Miss Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Phil Clark said, thanks for doing the live. And David Cross said, you guys take care. Talk to y'all soon.
Absolutely.
Right. Y'all be careful out there. Y'all be safe. See y'all on the next one.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to hang out. And don't forget, this is Mr. Tennessee's first live, so, you know,
Yeah.
maybe there'll be more to come on that.
Oh, yeah, definitely will be.